Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Shadowed City Podcast. I am your host, Larry, and this is The Shadows Within. Gonna go over a few shows, starting with GUW Cataclysm. Me and DJ B made a great show. He put together this match card, and it was impressive. And we are gonna continue to grow GUW. Right now, we have 5 matches each for each show. We're gonna have the debut of our flagship show, Equinox, coming up here soon. So stay tuned for that. And at GUW Cataclysm, we had a triple threat match to kick us off. And it was between RJ Colbert versus Deviant versus Nate Sawyer. And in the end, it was Deviant walking away victorious. Proving Ground Championship, Kofi versus Jack Graves, with Jack Graves becoming the first champion. Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Championships, Fatal Fury Tag Team Championships, Alan Shaw and Shady Sean McKenzie versus the Ministry of Pandemus, Dagon and Spawn, with Davey Lilac at their side, with the Ministry of Pandemus walking away victorious. All or Nothing Championship, Fatal 4-Way Elimination, Elijah McFly versus Jakob versus Hybrid versus Warren Peace, with Hybrid walking out the first champion. Global Heavyweight Championship, Mawson Miller versus Dante Black, with Vita, or Vita. If I'm saying that wrong, please let me know. With Mawson Miller walking out the champion, first ever. HOH returns. Also, we'll be going over TKO here today as well. It's been a while with that. HOH returns. Outlaw versus Carnage, Extreme Rules for the HOH Heavyweight Championship. Carnage walking out victorious. Travell Daniel versus Frost, with Frost walking away victorious. Mason Payne versus Showtime, with Showtime walking away victorious. Falls Count Anywhere, Wendy Rogue versus Madison Landon, with Wendy Rogue walking away victorious. Welcome, Silfrina Luchadora. Hope you are well. Great match against the debuting Lottie at IWF. Welcome, Susie. Hope you are well. Akane versus Ryan Kai, who is the champion for the HOH United Kingdom Championship, and Akane walked out the new champion. Jack Graves versus Blade for the WWM International Championship, Blade walking in the champion, with Jack Graves becoming the new champion. Monster versus Big Lou for the GPW Bruiserweight Championship, held by Big Lou, with Monster becoming the new champion. HOH United Kingdom Championship for the ladies, Wendy Rogue versus the champion Reagan Anderson, with Wendy Rogue walking out the new champion. Carnage versus Chaotic GCW Championship, the champion Chaotic defending against Carnage, with Carnage walking out the new champion. Welcome, Jan Matza. Welcome, sir. Gage versus Buster Anderson, with Gage walking away victorious. Carnage versus Ranger Rogue for the GPW Heavyweight Championship, currently held by Ranger Rogue, with Carnage walking out the new champion. The next show for HOH returns. It was a 10-woman gauntlet eliminator. RFL versus Bailey Nelson versus LaShawn versus Nina versus War Maiden versus Callie Bass versus Baby Bone Crusher versus Madison Landon versus Reagan Anderson versus Wendy Rogue, with Nina walking out victorious. Casey Skull versus Britt Graves for the GPW Women's World Championship, held by Britt Graves, with Casey Skull walking out the new champion. JJ, the Urban Gladiator, took on Cash Gordy, with JJ, the Urban Gladiator, walking out victorious. Nina versus Chanel Baltimore, with Chanel Baltimore walking away victorious. Akane and Jaquil, welcome J-Max, welcome, versus Nels Wade and Rome for the World Tag Team Championships, held by Nels Wade and Rome, with Nels Wade and Rome retaining the gold. Kabuki versus Outlaw, with Outlaw walking away victorious. Big Lou versus Buster Anderson versus Turtle Harrington, with Turtle Harrington walking away victorious. Chaotic versus Carnage for the GCW Gulf Coast Championship, held by Carnage, defending against Chaotic, with Chaotic walking out the new champion. Blade versus Akane, the champion for the HOH United Kingdom Championship, in an Inferno match where Akane retained the gold. Steel Cage, Money Dog versus Gang Mac with Money Dog walking away victorious. Fatal 4-Way Tornado Tag. Oh, this is for TKO, by the way. This is TKO show. Fatal 4-Way Tornado Tag. Buster Anderson and Bloodstone versus KD and Aaron James versus Maximilian Hilton and Archibald Hilton versus Corey Demoise and Daniel Demoise with the Hiltons walking away victorious. Triple Threat Tornado Tag. Doom, Britt Graves and Angelina versus Rachel and Anomaly versus Kaiva and Blackfire with Kaiva and Blackfire walking away victorious. Falls Count Anywhere, Lewis West versus Jackson Silver for the Dominion of Ruins Championship. Lewis West walking away victorious. TLC Wolfie versus Jasmine with Wolfie walking away victorious. Loki Demoise and Talos Piper versus Taylor Valentine and Evelyn Winters with Talos Piper and Evelyn Winters walking away victorious. Do-Rag Ortiz versus Ricky Steele with Do-Rag Ortiz walking away victorious. Harmonous Dualism Championship, Susie and Wolfie versus Luther and Viper with Luther and Viper walking away victorious. And for the Duality Legion Championship of the ladies, Lilith Black versus Day with Day walking away victorious. Now for ROV Thunder. ROV Blood Pit Championship, Falls Count Anywhere, Jaquil versus the champion Nels Wade, with Nels Wade retaining the gold. An 8-lady battle royal between Ty Dabaz, Riley, Dirty Diana, Becca Edwards, Miss D, Misdemeanor, Kaiva Frost, Madison King, and RFL, with RFL walking away victorious. I Quit Akane versus Travell Daniel, with Travell Daniel walking away victorious. Jack Graves versus the American Badass John Wigginton, with Jack Graves walking away victorious. Larry the Butcher versus AJ Woods, with AJ Woods walking away victorious. Daughters of Decay, the Graves Tribe versus the Graves Tribe, with the Graves Tribe walking away victorious. Inferno Nomad versus Eddie Walker, with Nomad walking away victorious. Pippo Malice versus Big Lou versus Rusty Steele, Pippo Malice walking away victorious. Big T versus CJ Frost versus Buster Anderson versus the Dog Rob Anderson versus KD King Dominator, where CJ Frost walked out victorious. Now, I do want to announce on April 1st, 7 p.m. UK time, 12 PST time, I will be interviewing another person for Breaking Kayfabe, and that is Mr. Hex himself. So I'm excited for that. Stay tuned for that. And that's really what I had to go over at the moment. Stay tuned for more. And stay tuned for TPW Takedown later on today, where we will also have the Wolves Den. And we're also going to talk about The Undertaker's legendary career. And I do hope everybody has a great day, good night, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever y'all may be. Peace out.